Congratulations to the Dodgers. Listen, we're a couple of months into the new school year right now, and keeping up with your child's learning is not always easy. So here to help us out with some educational tips to try to make the school year a little bit easier is founder and CEO of Amore Learning. This is Chloe Kaplan. Chloe, thanks so much for coming in today.
Thanks so much for having me.
This is the time of year, really, where you want to have that communication down as much as possible. We're not just talking about parents and kids here, right? We need to communicate with the teachers. And so for parents, they don't want to do it. In a lot of cases, they're just like, all right, this is like hard enough, right? How do you foster that relationship and maintain it?
So we're at the point in the school year now where we're getting parent-teacher conferences, and we're hearing from a lot of parents that they just want to know how to walk in and approach the teacher, how to listen with an open mind when they might have some preconceived notions about how their child is doing, things that they want to learn more about in the classroom. So the most important thing is really to just walk in there and know that you're on the same team. The teacher wants the kid to succeed as much as you do, but really have an open mind about it and listen to their perspective. Everyone has a different point of view. Kids are different people in school than they are at home.
It's got to be tough, too, because, and I know you've been in education for a very long time, you know, parents think they know their kids, right? But they're not in that classroom. And you're right. The child might act completely different in that classroom than they do at home. So then if the teacher says, well, you know, so-and-so is acting this way, the parent might just initially be like, no, they're not.
Right, or the parent is coming in thinking that they might hear about a behavior issue, and the teacher's like, your child is an angel. You never know what to expect.
In that case, the parent says to the teacher, tell me your secrets.
Exactly. we definitely get that question a lot. But, you know, it's about supporting the different, the home life and the classroom life of the child and making both wonderful places to be.
If the parent is looking for, you know, encouraging the student, if you have things like reading, right, and maybe that student is not at the level where the teacher and the parent, quite honestly, want them to be, what are some ways that we can get them motivated?
So we're all about promoting a love of learning. So everything we do is, you know, I think a lot of it is about getting kids to love what they're doing in unconventional ways. So, for example, my son loves football cards. And so before bed at night, we say you have to read for 20 minutes, and he reads his football cards, and we celebrate that. And that's motivating for him, and he knows that he's reading in sort of a unique way. And then that will inspire him to read what parents and teachers might consider more conventional things like chapter books.
You know, I mean, it's interesting you said that because that was me as a child. And, you know, looking at things like football cards, you have math skills. When you look at statistics, you can calculate. You have geography skills when you're seeing where the players are from. So, you know, it's great to have those, I guess, it's not really an alternative tool, but it's a different way of looking at things.
Exactly, and we're all about just different ways of looking at things and getting kids to love what they're doing.
So throughout the school year, obviously you want to have that communication with the teacher, you know, the parents do. And you're going to trust the teacher to some point as to where they feel that child's development is. Sometimes it may be better than you expected, sometimes it may be not as good as expected. So how often should there be, I guess, communication, checking in throughout the year?
I think the more communication, the better. I think leaving things for parent-teacher conferences, which might just happen 3 times a year, can be really hard. So we have clients, for example, this week who have gone into conferences and they've learned things about their kids that they wish they'd learned, you know, a week into the school year. And so any opportunity to communicate with your child's teacher, or if you're a teacher, to communicate with your students' parents is welcome. I think even if it's a quick email, just to say like, hey, this is what I'm noticing. How are you feeling about this? Just to keep those doors always open so there are no surprises.
And what are I'm sure you hear every story in the world. What are your recommendations for the communication between the parent and the student? How much should we be talking about, honestly, like where are we, what's going on in the classroom, what's either holding you back, or what do you feel like you could do better?
That's a great question. So I think the partnership between parents and teachers is so important, and just to make sure that you're on the same page about encouraging your child and, you know, just supporting them both in the classroom and at home. But the communication piece is key, because you want to make sure the message is the same.
What other questions do you typically get when it comes to parents, teachers, things like that? Or just other learning tricks that we could just pass along to folks now?
Well, I would encourage viewers to send in questions. I always love getting questions, and email us, get in touch through our website. But some questions we're getting most, right now are, you know, it's really just about how to set the stage for a successful school year. We're still early in the school year, but we're enough into it that teachers really know their students. So setting up that that support. And
I mean, it seems like we just started. We have a long way to go, so we still have time to forge that relationship.
We do, exactly. But just laying the foundation for a successful year ahead. And
all right. If folks do have questions, they want to get in touch with you, or they want to, use any of your services, what's the best way to do it? Well, there you go. Ask and we put it right on the screen like that.
There you go.
Very simple website, AmoreLearning.com.
We love hearing from people.